Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, Mr. Hans Shore. Morning, Mr. Narhari sir. Morning, Mr. Vijendra sir, Namita ma'am, and everyone present here. It's indeed an honor for me to represent Zomato here from the sustainability as well as smart mobility perspective. So I'm going to walk you through this short PPT that we guys are working on, and this will give you a glimpse of our vision in terms of what we are trying to achieve in terms of smart mobility as well as sustainable development while scaling Zomato to newer heights. So these are the few stats. Right now in India, 27 crore plus two-wheelers are running on street. And these are all registered two-wheelers. The emission through these is 38 million tons. And this is every year the CO2 which is coming out of these two-wheelers. And 32% of this basically is coming out of the two-wheelers. As we all know, and we all have witnessed firsthand in the months of October and November every year, that NCR is the most polluted region of India. It becomes extremely difficult even to breathe within our homes itself. So this is the adverse impact of mobility as well as the fossil fuels which are burning via the two-wheelers. Then there is this interesting data which states that direct and indirectly 25% of the deaths every year in India is attributed to air pollution. So I think these are the staggering figures which demands these platforms to make more or a deeper impact within the industry and try to forge some partnerships as well as some vision towards sustainable development and smart mobility. On the flip side of it is that we would need 152 crore more trees to be grown to offset just this much of CO2 emission, which is practically impossible to do right now. So there has to be some means to actually do it in a better way and in a faster way. Now I'll quickly move on to the things that Zomato is coming up with in terms of making this a pretty picture, not in the immediate term, but maybe in the medium to longer term. So our commitment is to convert our entire two-wheeler EV fleet onto the electric vehicles by 2030. That's the bold commitment what Zomato has taken, and we are fully sure that we will achieve it well before that. Um, these are the few initiatives which we have taken so far. This journey began in June 2021 when we signed up for the Climate Group's EV 100 initiative. And there we had signed up that by 2030 we will be able to switch our entire delivery fleet onto the green mobility. In 22-23, we actually partnered with over 50 companies to and these companies ranged from battery players to EV manufacturers to the fleet operators, wherein we kind of gave them the platform to plug themselves in and actually facilitate the delivery partners which were currently on Zomato to start using their EV vehicles for the deliveries. In June 23, we organized a mega event which was EV Mela, wherein we spread the awareness around what exactly this entire ecosystem encompasses and what are the benefits for EV that actually made headroom for the EV adoption within our EV fleet, wherein the delivery partners actually booked a lot of EV vehicles from the OEMs as well as started to know what are the mechanism to adopt the battery swapping or the charging infrastructure. In April this year, as you guys must have seen on the roads, this large orders fleet, it carries a beautiful pod. It's 100% electric. This is what we have launched across the top cities. We are 100% electric when it comes to the large order fleet. And in July 2024, just last month itself, we have built a roadmap wherein we would facilitate the EV ecosystem players further while deepening this partnership and to kind of have some skin in the game for the delivery partner as well as the ecosystem owners to make this adoption even more scalable and faster. So these are the inputs so far what we have done. This journey began in 2021. Since then, we have organized events as well as converted the fleet. And below is the glimpse of the output so far. We all believe that only by saying and not doing doesn't really help a lot in this matter. So we really track the outputs at a weekly, monthly, as well as the yearly level. And we have seen significant growth in terms of the EV adoption within our fleet. So if you see in the chart from financial year 2022 to 2024, we have grown with a CAGR of more than 80% when it comes to the EV adoption within our EV fleet. And the targets which we have taken demands us to even go beyond what we have done so far and to grow at 85% CAGR when it comes to the adoption of the EV or bringing in more two-wheeler EVs within our fleet. So this is the whole projection that we guys have, and we are very sure that by 2030 we will be able to achieve that. Now this is the enablement on how we are going to do this, what we are saying. There are three key levers which will impact the whole adoption strategy of Zomato as well as other companies. And I am although representing Zomato, but also these three key levers would remain constant when it comes to the EV adoption across the e-commerce as well as the quick commerce. So the first and the foremost thing is to help the DPs get a customized vehicle which is optimized as well as smart when it comes to operability. Right now, the vehicles which have been in the market were coming from a mixed strategy approach from B2C as well as a B2B perspective. I think the delivery partners, as they consume a lot of kilometers while riding in a day, because that's their primary livelihood, this has to be optimized from the B2B standpoint first. So that's the first key lever which we feel should be there. The second one is the end-to-end IoT enablement. What Mr. Vij was saying just now, that the helmet will be connected to the vehicle and only then the vehicle will be on. Maybe we can go a little more deeper into this and ensure that we know the lat long of the vehicle, we know the driving pattern of the vehicle and the rider, and we can enable the riders to ride only at say 40 km per hour wherever it's an accident prone area. We can limit the speed of the vehicle depending on the geography where that rider is riding that vehicle. So that will come into play when it's end-to-end IoT enabled, and there is some AI and ML algorithm running behind it to make it more optimized. The third and the most important one is the access to the charging and swapping infra. Now this is where the civic bodies and the government should pitch in and ensure, just like the fuel stations which are in every nook and corner of this country, we should have the charging and the swapping infra in every nook and corner of this country to enable those guys who have bought in this EV with their hard-earned money to actually get access to the charging station and ride this in the longer range as well. So this is the third one. Now, the two levers that we spoke were primarily from the demand side, and these will solve our four propositions, which is first the behavior change communication, because no matter how good this PPT looks or how good our strategy is within this air conditioned room, it's actually the driver partner riding that vehicle in the sun and the heat who will decide whether this needs to be adopted by him or not. So that behavior change has to be communicated by both the parties, both by Zomato as well as the civic bodies. There has to be some communication strategy jointly made to make this adoption at a speedy pace. The second is that these engagement activities need to be conducted. We have been doing this every year from our own capacity. Maybe we both can shake hands, and maybe MCG can partner in here and conduct these EV melas while inviting all the industry players, and we can promote this within our delivery fleet, and these guys can experience what are the tenets of this entire ecosystem, and this can be adopted enough at a faster rate. The third one is the rental and leasing. More often than not, these guys come from a socio-economic strata where paying an upfront down payment isn't or rather doesn't go well with their abilities. So there has to be rental as well as leasing options which are highly economic as well as feasible for their livelihoods. The fourth one is the additional incentive. Right now, if the rider is running on the tank full, there is a higher probability that that rider can travel more than 200, 300 kilometers. So what is the incentive in order to do 100% EV? That has to be generated by both the parties. The first incentive that I very clearly see is that there is almost negligible input cost. And when it comes to riding a two-wheeler, we all know that it's typically around 2 to 2.5 rupees per kilometer given the rising petrol prices. When the same vehicle is being ridden by the EV or on the electric, then that input cost comes down to 20 paisa. Related to the electricity cost in that particular zone. So this is the drastic difference, and this also needs to be communicated in all our communications as well as the engagement activities. From the policy side, it's the third lever, wherein we both have to shake hands and ensure that there is enough infra available and readily available, wherein the riders would never, or rather should never, feel any range anxiety while riding, because that is the primary source of earning for that particular household. So, I think I'm not really sure when that day will come, but it should come very fast when, just like fuel stations, these charging and swapping stations are also readily available. So there are four pillars to these enabler. The first one is the capital investment. This would require immense capital investment to, in terms of readying the infra which is needed from the real estate perspective. Then from the electricity perspective, and then from the battery tech and reusability perspective. I don't want to come back here on this podium and again give a speech after 3 years saying that, look, now the number of batteries are rising and we are not able to reuse these batteries, which will impact the rising pollution or the recyclability of these batteries. We should be in a way, it should be done in a way wherein the same battery can be used as an energy storage later on when it can't be used in the EV. So there are technologies available right now wherein once the battery is dead, or rather the current pulling ability from the battery is lower, then the same battery cases are used in the energy storage, and those can be a massive benefit for the government as well as for the companies like us. That's it from my side. Thanks everyone. Thank you so much.